This is a very short-lived grade school book I have from when I was a kid. My name is Ciara Vigil. I'm in preschool, and when I grow up, I want to be a doctor. My name is Ciara Vigil. I'm in kindergarten, and when I grow up, I want to be a doctor. My name is Ciara Vigil. I'm in first grade, and when I grow up, I want to be a doctor. My name is Ciara Vigil. I'm in second grade, and when I grow up, I want to be a doctor. Ever since I was a kid, I've coordinated many of my actions to be in the healthcare field. From my C&M classes like biology, psychology, and multiple chemistry classes, to my job as a donor eligibility specialist at Vigil, where I work in a healthcare setting and I've learned tons about hematology and patient care. I have early clocking times and long shifts, but the experience I have received has made a large difference in my life. But most importantly, my aspirations have led me to my senior project at Presbyterian Hospital. When searching for my senior project, I knew I wanted to be somewhere that would benefit from volunteers on a day-to-day basis. When I came across Presbyterian, I didn't know what to expect, but the volunteer coordinator and later my mentor, Katherine Jackson, offered me a spot in the emergency department. Emergency medicine has always been my biggest interest in the medical field. Emergency medicine sees firsthand the impact and the lack of primary care, which is a huge disparity in New Mexico. Healthcare disparity in New Mexico is something I focused a lot of my time on at Amy Beal, especially in my senior year when applying to the combined BA-MD program at UNM, which was created to target physician shortages in rural New Mexico. I knew volunteering in the emergency department at Presbyterian would help me gain the experience I would need to continue on my journey in medicine and get accepted into the program. My first day in the emergency department was extremely overwhelming. I did not know my way around at all. The ED is pretty big, with over 50 rooms and so many different twists and turns. This made me extremely anxious. It felt too hard to navigate and I felt out of place. But I finally decided to just walk and walk and walk until I knew the place like the back of my hand. Over time, the ED isn't as chaotic as it seems to the naked eye. After learning to navigate the department, I knew I needed to help the staff to the best of my ability. My work consisted of a lot of cleaning and even more cleaning. But that is where I was needed most. In order to get emergency department wait times lessened, rooms need to be cleaned faster and nurses do not have time to clean right when a patient is discharged. Much of my volunteer work was also supplying different areas of the emergency department, such as different kinds of service carts, which include IV carts, pelvic carts, and suturing carts. I also rounded on patients in their rooms if they pressed the call light or in the waiting room where people sometimes waited the whole day for a room, usually just providing simple things like blankets or food and water. I have always felt comfortable in hospitals as a patient, and over time I felt more comfortable in this environment as a staff member. At Presbyterian, I had a wonderful mentorship with Katherine. Katherine was extremely helpful and responsive as a mentor. She guided me through any concerns I had and even allowed me to explore other departments at Presbyterian, but understood that I enjoyed emergency medicine more than anything else. As a mentor, Katherine was great at allowing me to grow and become comfortable in a newer environment. I also became more comfortable in the ED because of a nurse named Angie. Angie and Katherine both served as mentors in different aspects of my senior project. Angie taught me a lot about the ins and outs of emergency medicine. She allowed me to shadow her and taught me a lot about patient care. I was able to care for patients in a new way when Angie took me under her wing. I was able to feed patients who had a hard time eating, prepare drinks for patients with low blood sugar, set up minor parts of IVs, and see how certain medications are measured and prepared, and so much more. I love the experience I was getting from going into my senior project. Shadowing and viewing different emergency traumas and procedures really allowed me to see the importance of teamwork in healthcare, and I was fascinated by it. I was also able to host a small clothing drive for the emergency department's closet that they have in place for patients who may not have access to quality clothes. Many patients that come into the emergency room are unhoused or low income. Some need extra help with transportation, housing, and sometimes getting a new pair of shoes. It is super important to cater to every patient in the emergency room, making sure they are leaving with treatment and also quality care. I wasn't too sure how my senior project would change me. I felt I was pretty professional and a social being before, but it's harder to know how much you have changed until someone actually points it out. At one point, Katherine pointed out that she noticed I was much more social than when I first started. I knew how to carry a conversation, was better communicating with her even as my mentor. I would like to think the things I have learned at my senior project carried on to other aspects of my life, such as my job, and even finally taking in-person classes at C&M because I wanted to socialize and learn in a different way. I know my work at Presbyterian would make younger me happy, especially knowing that it assisted me in completing my goals of getting into the BA-MD program. Allowing me to take my knowledge from the emergency department further in life. I will forever be thankful for my hours spent at my project and with the relationships I made there.